Hello everyone, Alex Savoie. So this is the second episode of our information tasting kind of blend. So we're going to do the tasting. I just did it and I'm hoping I'm going to get a little bit more than the French episode, but we'll see. So I'm not typically a fan of Bordeaux wines. I'm not a fan of either Cabernet Sauvignon or Merlot. I think that in general Cabernet Sauvignon is probably the type of grape, or is clearly the type of grape that needs quite a bit of aging. Even if you're not in a great vintage, which 2007 is okay, but it's not a great vintage at all. 2005, 2009 are great vintages for Bordeaux. But so 2007, even though it's not a great vintage, even though this is a good winery, this wine has been popular in Quebec for the past few years. So it's a good winery. People from here like this wine, but it's not a great winery by any means. It's not a premier cru or anything like that. But I think even that, this wine needs time to age. Cabernet Sauvignon is the type of grape that when young is very tannic, does not reveal much, so it usually would need quite a few years of being laid down, even if it's not a great wine. So this is a bit part of my experiment today, because I opened this wine yesterday, had some of it at dinner with a friend, had some left, and I thought it was really tight yesterday. It wasn't giving me much. There was nothing bad about it. It didn't taste bad, or it didn't have any faults in it, but it wasn't giving me what I was expecting. Which, in my case, which I don't really like Bordeaux wines, I often find that is the case. So I was hoping that this bottle being open for 24 hours, we might get a little bit something more. So this is what we're going to find out right now. The nose is definitely opened, but the only thing I'm getting is sort of a little bit of barnyard. So sort of like you're driving through the countryside when there's farms everywhere. You got your window cracked just a little bit, and you can get that funny smell that well, I don't especially like, and most people don't like. You might like it, I don't know, but I'm getting a little bit of that in this wine, which is usually a good wine, a good sign, in the sense that and it can be misleading, but a lot of people think that when you smell that in a wine, you're smelling the terroir, you're smelling the earth, you're smelling where the wine comes from. So that's a good sign in a way. It's not especially pleasing though, to be honest with you. I'm not getting much more on the nose than that. The tannins are still tight. I mean, this has been open for 24 hours. Definitely needs more cellaring to show its true potential. So I might be drinking this too soon, but usually you buy a bottle, especially if it's not a great wine, you buy a $20 bottle, you're not going to lay it down for 20 years, or maybe not 20 years in this case, but you should probably lay this down for 3-5 years, something like that. So the tannins are still tight, but they're not too aggressive. It's fine. I don't have a problem with that aspect of it. It's got good length. The alcohol spikes a little bit at the end, which bothers me a little bit, but it's not so bad. And it coats your mouth pretty well. So this is a wine that's well made. Like, all the elements are there. Aside from, I'm not getting that much, distinctive flavors out of it. Like, the entry is good, the mid palate, the finish, everything is well done, but I'm not getting anything special. This seems like a type of wine that it could have been the guy's neighbor who made this wine, and it would be all the same, So I'm getting a little bit of the Cab Franc, and I'll retaste just to make sure, but I'm getting a lot of the greenness from the Cab Franc. And I've spoken about this before. If you have never had a Chinon or Loire Valley Cab Franc, go ahead, try it. You'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. It's that green aspect, as if the grape was not quite ripe. I like this. So this is making me like this one a little bit. But the flavor profile is not so attractive for me on this wine. That's my problem with it. Yeah, so definitely. I'm not going to recommend this wine. Now, if you are a Bordeaux fan, go try this wine. Definitely, because for $21, it's a good wine. It's well made. I'm not a fan of Bordeaux, so I'm not going to recommend this wine to you guys, but the wine is well made, as I said, so you take your guess. If you like Bordeaux, try it. If you don't like Bordeaux, don't try it. That's it. So I'll see you guys soon.